say with me, when I ask my wide receivers or the quarterbacks to do something, you know, I better darn well know how to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when we ask young people to do something, my biggest thing I tell them, I says, I would never ask you to do something that I have never done before or I can't do now.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I may not be able to do it at the level I did 30 years ago, but I can show you and demonstrate exactly what I want to see from it. And I think that helps the players when they know that, you know, my coach can demonstrate and he can articulate at the same time to help me to be successful. I think that's really important, really important. Playing 13 years in the league and being around a number of coaches over those 13 years, you take a little piece of all that and then you put it into what you believe, that your philosophy and the way you're going to go about the business. The way we run things around here is you know, is like a NFL camp. The way we practice, the way we go about our business, the way we do things, all that stuff. Because, you know, I feel that, you know, if you practice at a high standard, and the standard is the NFL, you're gonna play at a high standard. We don't, you know, Pete Carroll was defensive coordinator at the New York Jets when I was there, and his energy was just infectious. And the way he went about things, and I've watched him over the years, and I'm that way at practice, and I'm not that way on the sideline. I want to be a player's coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want them to understand that, hey, yeah, I'm your head coach whatsoever, and I exude leadership, but at the end of the day, I'm just a man.
Mm-hmm.
And we're men together, and we adapt each other up, we laugh, we joke, you know, we have a good time. But they know when I get on that other side of the line, it's about business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we're gonna have fun doing our business. And then, you know, I have Dan Reeves, which was more, he was a player's coach as well, but he was so detail oriented, attention to detail. We're going to do it this way. And he was a stickler on time, like I am. We don't go over time on my timesheet. We're going to, look, I don't care if we're in the middle of something. If I say it was 15 minutes, we're not going 15 minutes and 30 seconds or 16 minutes. It's 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't get what you needed in those 15 minutes. That's on you, that you got to go back as a coach to figure out, how can I get this done in this time period? I truly feel that the more you give young people, the more they lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, you know, hey, leave the field feeling good about something you've done, or leave a drill feeling good about something you've done, not to keep going, and then you get tired, and then you make a mistake, and then it's over with, and the only thing that's lasting in your mind is that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Reeves thing right there, attention to details, no helmets on the ground, the way we dress, the way we eat, the way we talk, the things we say, all those things plays a part into being successful. And then you had Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher was a no-nonsense type of guy. Mm-hmm. He was a no-nonsense type of guy. It was, you know, this is the way we're going to do it. I don't care. It works. That's what I say, go. And there you go. You have the fun, energetic Pete Carroll to the detailed, demonstrative Dan Reeves to, this is how we're going to do it, and we're not going to deviate from it. Mm-hmm. And so it all plays a part, you know, in what I've done. I played every game like it was my last. You know, I played hard. I was physical, and I made plays. And that's what this football team. Those four things that I've said, this is this football team wrapped up in one. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I love it. I love it. You know, they come out with energy. We have fun. They love on each other. They pay attention to details. They are detailed. And when I say we're going to do this, we do it. And there's no questions asked. And it works. And it's working for us right now. And now we're going to enjoy the fruits of our labor come August 31st. Well, one thing is that hasn't changed is, you know, you're dealing with young men, and then you got to deal with parents. You know, you got to balance. You got to have a balance there of how much you allow access and how much allowed not to have access. Mm-hmm. But That's one of the things that is the same. But I think that, one of the biggest things as a head coach here at the collegiate level, there's a lot more to it. Administrative stuff, signing papers, making sure guys are eligible, make sure medically cleared, all these things. I'm signing papers, almost constantly about something from compliance whatsoever. So you got the compliance rules, you have the college rules, you have all these things that you got to stay ahead of to be successful. In high school, you just got to make sure they go to class and they're eligible to play because they're pumping in classes, and that you have enough to practice and enough to play with. Not here. It's constantly making sure guys are carrying a full load so they be eligible, and making sure they're going to class, because if you don't go to class, you get dropped and you become ineligible. So it's a whole lot. Then compliance, you got to make sure you're in compliance, but you just can't go out and do things because of the fact that you're gonna get penalized. So it's one of those things that I understand. I'm understanding the landscape, and I'm understanding my role as a college head coach. Now, is it different? You're talking about Division II football, so it's not FBS football where you have all these people and all these departments, and all you have to do is worry about maintaining the cohesiveness with your staff and your players. It's not that. It's not that at this level. But at the same time, in the high school level, you had to do all that. You had to be the equipment guy, the travel agent, the meal guy, and all those things. And then when I got here, the role changed a little bit, but you still have to make sure you're on top of things. So I was prepared when I came in of wearing so many different hats. But as a head coach, especially replacing, two head coaches over the last 2-3 years, and something's, and then you come in and you want to implement some things that are different, that we call uncommon, it kind of disturbs the ordinary a little bit. And you get a little pushback, but it's cool. I get it. I understand. But at the end of the day, I always say, trust the process. Yeah, it may be uncomfortable to you. It may look uncomfortable to you, but at the end of the day, I serve 104 young men that's on this roster, and the 10 and 11 coaches that's on this staff. That's one of my biggest responsibilities, and to uphold the integrity of this college. So at the end of the day, I have to do it in a way that I'm comfortable with, and that my staff and players are comfortable with, because I always say this: if I don't do it my way, and I do it the way others ask me to do, and it doesn't quite work out, and I get dismissed from my job, nobody gonna stand up and say, hey, we told him to do it that way, blah, 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 right? But if I do it my way, and I feel good about the way I'm doing it, and it don't work out, and you let me go, at least I can say I tried it the way that I thought it would work. Well, I think it's in a couple of stages. One, in each room, that means in each position, there has to be that one dude that just does everything correct, and that has a high standard of doing things that all the young ones want to inspire to be or to do. You know what I'm saying? So, but then in those rooms, I have to recruit guys to challenge that guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't recruit guys that I'm saying, well, we already got a starter there, so we just gonna recruit that position. No, we want every room to be competitive. So that's one piece of it, of leadership. In each room, you have to have a guy in each room that runs that room when the coach is not in there, right? And that understands the philosophy and the mission of what we're trying to do. And then secondly, the team know who the leaders are. Like, they picked their 3 captains this week, and it would have been the 3 guys that I would have chosen also. So they know. So, those guys are leaders. And then you have others that lead in a way that get the guys motivated, going and whatsoever. But then there's some that lead in a way that says, hey, make sure you're doing things right in the classroom, hydrating, eating right, cleaning up the locker room, and make sure you get the junk off the field. So there's different type of leaders, and we let them do.